United and Cavalry. Right now, the approximate kickoff time is 5:50 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:50 Mountain Time. So 350 for those watching in the Mountain Time Zone, 5:50 Eastern. We're hoping that this match will resume. Looks like the clouds are starting to move on. Some fans starting to come back into the seats. Second straight weekend that we've had a weather delay in Calgary, but the foot soldiers and the fans in Southern Alberta, they are passionate, especially that man right there. They are ready for this match to begin. So for those watching, once again, it's the One Soccer YouTube channel to see the remainder of this match. All right, so once again, this is where we will play the remainder of this match between York United and Cavalry. Still in a weather delay here and expected to be here for at least another 30 minutes or so. And I say at least as we just don't quite know if there's another flash of lightning that could change the timing of the situation. But about 14 or 15 minutes played in this match so far. So far, no score between Cavalry and York United, just one shot, neither on one shot. It was not on target from Cavalry. So again, the remainder of this match will be available on this channel if you're watching on the YouTube channel. So please check in over the next 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. We will provide updates as soon as we have them. But once again, fans starting to slowly come back in to Atco Field at Spruce Meadows, and again hoping that we will be able to resume this match before too long. Again, stay tuned, and again we will keep you updated on any new news.
weather conditions are improving. Players will be returning to outfield field for pregame warm-up. 9 minutes. warm-ups.
Welcome back to Atco Field at Spruce Meadows in Calgary. After a long and lengthy delay, we are ready to continue on with this match number 83 of the Canadian Premier League season between Cavalry FC and York United FC. We halted this game in the 18th minute around 1:55 p.m. local Mountain Time, 3:55 p.m. Eastern, so approaching a 2-hour delay due to the storm. Temperatures have changed considerably since the start of this match. The start of this match, it was 19 degrees. 19 degrees Celsius, I should say. It's since dropped to 11 degrees Celsius, feeling like 8. So certainly it got chilly. Hats off to the supporters who stuck around and are still in the stands. For those watching south of the border, 69 degrees was our starting kickoff temperature. It dropped to 51, now feeling like 46. So a breath of fall is certainly in the air here in southern Alberta. It'll be very interesting to see how both of these teams respond, because Cavalry had this exact situation 1 week ago and did not respond very well, giving up 2 goals in the second half following a weather delay to Atletico Ottawa, ultimately following 3-0 in the match to Ottawa. So Tommy Wilden Jr. and his side wearing the red kits, hoping that history will not repeat itself from last week. Meanwhile, York United FC hoping for 3 points once again on the road at Atco Field. And if they're able to do that, they would pull within 8 points of Cavalry for the final playoff spot with 6 matches to go. Once again, my name is Matt Cullen. An update for those watching. Again, this is on the One Soccer YouTube channel. The Come On match of the week between Forge and Atletico Ottawa. Coverage expected to begin at 6 p.m. Eastern time, about 9 minutes away. That's on the One Soccer regular channel. But lots to go here in this one. As Noah Verhoeven puts this ahead. And the keeper, Marco Carducci, will come out and play to Mason Trafford. No changes as far as I can tell for either side. Let's pick this match back up again. There's our timing. So in the 19th minute, so lots to still be decided here. Bradley Fleet. Dutch fullback plays to Jose Escalante. Good ball forward, but Mikel Cantave had it skip on him on the wet pitch. That negates what could have been a relatively fine opportunity for Tommy Wilden Jr., whose side needs some goals, as I mentioned. Shutouts at home last week against Ottawa. Last weekend's weather delay happened at halftime. They played the first half, but no further. Sazi Rosario was very close to taking that right off the boot of Mason Trafford. Trafford did well to calmly play that back to Carducci. Ortakudas with a sliding tackle. And the Cavalry throw-in. Martin Nash had 3 players featured in the Team of the Week for Week 20. Osazi Di Rosario, Mo Babuli, and Krasnovic Insa. All part of the Gatorade Team of the Week. Check that, of course, there's a 4th with Elia Jimenez, the keeper, also featured in. So 4 members of the Nine Strikes, part of the Team of the Week. An outstanding performance on the road at Tim Hortons Field. Speaking of Insa, there is the York United defender. Looks like his assignment today is Ali Musi, or at least on this upcoming corner kick, which Cavalry sometimes likes to play short, and they do here again, and Escalante will push it in. Jimenez had to be attentive and put both hands up to block that. Cavalry is great on set pieces, and they often play that corner short, and it catches teams off guard. Sent once again into the penalty area. Joe Mason. Zator and Insa right on him. This is Simmons. Skips that one to the keeper. And it's another stop for Jimenez, who has become certainly much busier since the weather delay has ended. Kevin Santos playing on the wing on that right side. Verhoeven in midfield. Freitas. Verhoeven. He's been busy after missing some time this year. He's played all 90 minutes in his last 3 matches, so certainly a reliable option for Martin Nash in midfield. Captain Dominic Zator, as the Nine Stripes organize himself. This is a good ball forward, but the flag comes up. Extra touch from Osaze de Rosario, and I don't think the Cavs appreciate that. The young, talented goal scorer. That's a very close call, very close. I'd say perhaps York unlucky on that occasion. Foul given to Cavalry. So Ronan Kratz, the Ottawa native, signed with the Nine Stripes on June 17th. 2 straight matches where he has been involved in goals. Scored against Pacific, added an assist. Forge. Mason taken down in a rather heavy tackle midfield. Mason has also missed some time this year, but he's still managed to score 6 times in his 14 matches. This is Simmons. Grew up in the Ottawa area, from England originally. Ball sent into the penalty area, and the Nine Stripes knocked that away. Alarcon once again back into the penalty area as Cavalry starts to intensify its attack. Mabuli, long ball forward, Kratz just out of his reach. This is Osaze de Rosario. Charlie Trafford watches him. Kratz lets it go, and just flying by the post of Marco Carducci, very close to the opening goal. Ronan Kratz. Creative again from York United, and Kratz finds himself with some space. And Carducci full extension. '25th minute chance. That is the first shot directed towards Marco Carducci for the Nine Stripes, not on target clearly. Perhaps this one could be, as Osaze de Rosario is knocked over. That goes undetected by Mr. Renzo Villanueva, decides to play on. Fleet plays it ahead. Once again, the Nine Stripes are there for an answer. Babuli and Santos. This is a neat ball played to the far side. Laurie Latanzio into the penalty area again. Knocked away by Mason Trafford. Norman Jr., Cantave, and some nice work from the Haitian international. Fans enjoy that. That ball over the touchline. Some contact, and York United unhappy with the non-call. Trafford to Bradley Fleets. Good ball ahead. Escalante. This could be something special for the Cavs. Escalante ran into trouble against Chris Novik. Insa. Some good defending from Insa. Escalante has a flair for the attack. Just lost control here as Insa managed to keep his footing. Escalante has contributed 6 times this year to Cavalry goals, 2 goals, 4 assists in 20 matches. He also picked up his 6th yellow card of the season in a match against Atletico. He often plays the role of agitator, does it very well. Something that Tommy Wilden Jr. says is part of his personality at the pitch, but not off the pitch. One of the nicest guys going. He's a great father as well. Cavalry bench boss said, but once he's at the pitch, it's all business, and whatever he can do to give his team a competitive advantage, he does. Charlie Trafford again, try the left side with the fullback Fleets. Sent forward, look out. That could have very easily been a first goal as well, as Joe Mason inches away from knocking that past the Nine Stripes keeper, Elia Jimenez. 20-year-old from London, Ontario, found himself into no man's land and was hesitant on that decision. Once again, some positive movement for the Cavs with Musi. Mason, flag comes up from the assistant referee, offside. That's the decision. Stripes trying to counter quickly the other way. Carducci will have none of that. Foul awarded to Cavalry as Ali Musi some difficulty. And there will be a free kick. Sets up to be a good opportunity for the Cavs, who relish these opportunities. Set pieces. Part of the wall. Escalante and Alarcon. Escalante playing it into the penalty area, knocked away by Zator, who is very solid defensively. Babouli almost read that perfectly, and Bradley Fleet took it away from him. Babouli, though, is in some discomfort. Almost perfectly read from the Syrian international Mo Babouli. Mr. Villanueva looks to be waving off the medical team. Another look here. Fleet comes up. Maybe just on the hand he clips Babouli. Doesn't look like it's anything too serious. Babouli was flying past, hoping the ball would join him. Certainly looks chilly for some of these players, perhaps not expecting single-degree temperatures in Celsius. Played half an hour in official time. There we go, there's some fans that have come prepared. Jacket, hoods, and hats necessary. It's David Norman Jr. Sends it over the touchline. Surrounded by 3 Cavalry players. It's best just to knock this away. Well, the foot soldiers certainly are one of the most passionate fan bases in the Canadian Premier League. This time a foul is awarded to the 9 Stripes as Mo Babouli goes down again. Lucy make a lot of contact with Babouli. Babouli felt his presence though and went to ground. Moraz, wet playing surface, sends it ahead. Spruce Meadows, Natco Field, one of 2 surfaces that features natural grass. Halifax being the other, and a yellow card is awarded. I shouldn't say awarded, is shown on the Cavs. That's going to be their leading 62nd on the year, and that's on Cantave. Jordan Wilson on the receiving end. So the 25-year-old Cantave picks up his 2nd caution of the season. Another Ottawa connection from Cantave, grew up in the nation's capital. Scored a goal for Haiti. And it looks like Jordan Wilson is a little worse for wear. I had a chance to talk with Jordan earlier this week. He's featured in some media coverage as well, but he looks to have been opened up on that tackle from Cantave, on the lip and then on the nose as well. So some medical repairs required for the York United defender. This is Babouli into the penalty area, and defender Tas Morakudas is close to putting his boot on that. Would have been his first CPL goal. So right now, York United playing with 10. Wilson now back on the pitch, so that absence did not last long at all. Cantave with Wilson working. It's a push at the back from Alarcon, the Spaniard. Noah Verhoeven gets himself out of trouble with Elliot Simmons hot on his tail. And Zator with some time on the York United back line. There's Babouli. .66% possession of the ball favors the Cavs. United at 34%. 3 shots for Cavalry, 2 of them on target. York United just 1 shot, and it was not on target. Final third entries, though, relatively close, 24-19. So in that aspect of this match, things have been relatively close. Cavalry leads in corners 2-0. It's up, plays to Kratz, and Kratz may have a step on Escalante. De Rosario taken down, play allowed to continue despite the protests from York United as talented striker Osaze De Rosario was upended. Even Norman Jr. Definitely some contacts, catching him at an awkward angle. Would have been a dangerous free kick. Here comes Mason Trafford. Fleet, left boots with the cross. Lucy at the receiving end. Left back, Lori Atanzio comes, takes that away. This time another sloppy challenge, and a yellow card is coming out again. That's the 63rd of the season. As I am not hearing any of those protests. This time it's David Norman Jr. Sazi de Rosario again being taken down. So if it wasn't the first tackle, it was the second. The second lands Norman Jr. in the book. That goes for his 4th yellow card of the season. Santos, it's a nice play. So Norman Jr. will miss the next match for Cavalry due to a yellow card suspension. That's his 4th. Chance from Obabuli from about 40 or so yards away. A one-hopping save for Carducci, no trouble. We'll have a normal halftime. 6 or 7 minutes. Here's an opportunity for the Cavs. Escalante. Zator closing down with him. The cross is a good one. And Joe Mason on the receiving end just puts it past the back post. Mason that close to his 7th of the year. And once again, New York United left scrambling on defense. Ortakudis lost his man, and a free header from Joe Mason. He does not miss those very often. And another chance just missing. And once again, Cavalry, they have been good for the most part of this season when it comes to finishing chances. The last couple have been couple of matches, I should say, have been rather difficult. Shut out by Atletico Ottawa. They did win 2-1 against Forge, but then they played a match against Valor on the 12th of August where they were also held off the score sheet. It was a 2-0 decision. So lacking some finishing, perhaps, over this last little while. That's been a bit of a struggle, as I mentioned. They've dropped 4 of their last 7 contests. Just trying to be a little bit tighter when it comes to those scoring areas. Fleet and Insa will meet. So far, so good for Martin Nash's 9 stripes. Charlie Trafford. Fine interception by Cavalry, and now they look to try and set up an opportunity. Cantave. David Norman Jr. Mason. Too heavy on the touch. And a foul. Fans who have bravely waited this weather out are starting to become a bit antsy with the referee. That was a clear foul, however. Perhaps a little bit antsy with the scoreline in this match as well. It's Jordan Wilson. Stiff arm that goes undetected. So once again, as expected, I joined us before the weather delay. I mentioned that these two teams do have a bit of history, a couple of red cards in the season series. Things have been chippy, and now it's starting to boil over as Escalante has a step on inside again. Escalante! Taken down in the penalty area. Mr. Villanueva says no. Some contact from Insa, who is perhaps fortunate, but that was not a penalty. Escalante had a step. York United have conceded 7 penalties already this year, tied for the most in the Canadian Premier League with Edmonton. Cavalry, surprisingly, has only won 2 penalties. That one close to being a third. Tommy Wheeldon Jr. would like the squad to be a little bit more clinical, especially in the final third. A couple of minutes before halftime with Fleets. Once again, looking deep for Mason. Insa and Escalante. That battle continues. Insa this time with a clear win on that tackle. It's a duo to watch out for, Escalante and Krasnovic. Insa. Escalante with the ball at his feet again. Plays for Mason, but just a little bit too hard and heavy on that touch. Over the byline for a goal kick. Escalante, he can be electric. And Insa has had to deal with him. Here's another look. There's a shirt grab in there for sure. Anytime you see the tug of the jersey, a tug of the sweater, you're asking for the referee to make that call. Fortunately for Insa and the 9 Stripes, Mr. Villanueva decided against that decision. Here's Lucy Moracudis with a well-timed challenge. Santos. Babuli. Kratz. And Insa develop a triangle on the right. Verhoeven. Insa has some room. He's got that powerful boot. Scored from outside the penalty area last weekend against Forge. There is the left foot again. And Carducci, full extension, was able to put his hand on it and just tip it away from danger. Insa going for back-to-back. And he had some room to strike. Didn't have the power like last weekend, but he had the placement. Carducci forced to concede a corner for the first time in the match. Expecting 1 minute of stoppage time in this first half. Waiting for the confirmation from the 4th referee, usually Rudolph. This is Babuli in the rain now as it starts to pelt down. Jordan Wilson put that towards his fellow defender, Moracudis, and there is Mr. Rudolph with the 1 minute. Excellent opportunity. Good save, have to say, from Carducci. Martin Nash knows Calgary and the footholds very well, a former assistant to Tommy Wheeldon Jr. Moved east to Ontario this year. Former men's national team star. Brother, of course, to Canadian basketball royalty Steve Nash, who's now the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. We won't go there. We won't go there. That's a tricky situation. Verhoeven, left foot into the penalty area again, touched on, and the Carducci goal kick for what will certainly be the end of the first half, if not before. And that's it. So 45 minutes, the longest 45 minutes I've felt in a long time, with an almost 2-hour weather delay. Halftime in Calgary, Cavalry FC 0 and York United FC 0. This game still has 45 minutes and 1 period of football to determine a winner on a rainy Saturday afternoon.
Follow all the action all season long on our social media pages. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at CAVALRY FC and on TikTok and Facebook. Fans, you know all the club news, make sure you download the Center Circle app on your app store today. Official app of Cavalry FC. Congratulations to the self-centered becoming group of the match winner today, Jason Christie. Congratulations to Jason, and over to the self-centered becoming application. Thank you very much.
Halftime at Atco Field at Spruce Meadows. A long weather delay, but we've reached the halfway point in this one. Brief look at some of the stats there. 4 shots, 2 of them on target for the Cavs. For York United, 3 shots, 1 of them on target. Possession numbers favor Cavalry at 62.5%, York United 37.5%. 2 corners to 1 for Cavalry. In terms of total passes, it was Cavalry plus 111, 261 to 155. So they certainly had more of the ball, but in terms of the finishing, both teams had chances, both goaltenders relatively sharp. And let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. Again, we had to go to this low camera angle due to the weather, and this is before the delay, and Carducci with a bit of a bobble, and that created a chance for Osaze de Rosario. Couldn't quite finish. Here, of course, we had this long weather delay, a ferocious-looking storm, lasted for about 2 hours, the weather delay. Finally back on the pitch, Kratz trying his luck from distance with the right foot, just sailing that wide of Marco Carducci's cage. Ronan Kratz on it again. That tackle on Osaze de Rosario from David Norman Jr. went undetected, although minutes later, Norman Jr. picked up a yellow card, his 4th of the season, for a tackle on de Rosario. Carducci, no trouble with that strike from Mo Babouli. We know what kind of finish and the abilities Mo Babouli has. This was an interesting opportunity here with Escalante. Putting this over to Joe Mason, a free header, and Mason missing the target by a couple of feet on that back post. Escalante and Insa perhaps fortunate. The grab on the sweater went undetected in the penalty area as Escalante wanted a penalty, and Mr. Villanueva said, nope, we'll continue on. This is Insa at the other end, showing some offensive flair with that left boot. Well placed. Carducci, good save. And that's where we stand after 45 minutes on a rainy afternoon in Calgary. Cavalry sitting 4th in the CPL table right now, 34 points. The 9 Stripes down in 7th. If they're able to secure 3 points today, they move to within 8 points of Cavalry. They jump over Halifax, and they are 1 back of Valor FC. But lots to be done before we can talk about moving up in the standings. Halftime in Calgary, we'd like to introduce Mark Noonan, the second Canadian Premier League commissioner. He was introduced this week, and here is a short conversation with the new boss of the CPL.
I'm a soccer guy. I grew up playing, played in college. I've got a brother who's a college coach, a sister who played, and so it's kind of in our family DNA. And so I follow soccer all around the world. So I'm very familiar with the Canadian Premier League when it launched, familiar with the acquisition of the rights to form CSB. So I followed it from afar. It was probably more of a curiosity than anything else at the time. And then a mutual friend named Kevin Flynn introduced me to Scott Moore, who was heading up the search. And we happened to be in the same place at the same time in California. I mean, like kind of kismet. And so we went and we had an initial meeting, and I love Scott, and he seemed to like what I had to offer. And next thing you know, here we are sitting here today. The timing is good because it's the end of one season and we can go into a planning cycle and start thinking about what not just next season looks like, but what do the next 5 seasons look like? And so, the first thing I need to do is a lot of listening, meeting people that are important to the success of the operation, and understanding the problems and the opportunities that we have, and putting together a roadmap for what that looks like. So, to say I've got an answer for you right now, I think would be disingenuous and probably wouldn't be a real smart thing until I educate myself a little bit more about what those opportunities are. But if you think about a young league, we have to do everything. We have to improve the quality of the product on the field. We have to improve the fan experience. We have to improve the infrastructure. We got to improve the media distribution. We got to improve the fan development. All these sort of things are part of what a young league does, and that's what I'm so excited about. By the same token, we can't do everything all at once, so we're going to have to prioritize those big things that we think are going to make the difference the quickest. One of the nice things about the structure here is that you can be reactive to the marketplace. If I am a sponsor who wants to get involved and support soccer, I can put this puzzle together in a way that's going to help you build your business. And if there are pieces of the Canada soccer that are going to help you be successful, there's pieces of a Premier League, there's pieces of League One, I can put that together for you. And having all those assets and being able to be reactive to the market, what the market needs, too often, sports properties go to the market and say, here's how great we are, as opposed to saying, hey, let us understand your business. Get on this train. This train is leaving the station. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and faster. But we're going to do this in a way that's going to help you build your business. And I think that's the nice thing about all the assets that we have, is we can be reactive to the market. The league needs to expand. I think everybody knows that. The supporters, players probably get a little tired of the same teams playing each other all the time, but understand that there's such a new league. So we need to expand. For that reason, we need to expand because we want to bring more players in the opportunity. I learned that in my previous life that you don't expand until you have the conditions necessary to expand. And what do those things look like? You need a community that really cares. You need a stadium solution that you can, if not control the schedule, at least have a pretty good opportunity to schedule the games when your fans are available. You need to have a great owner. You need good corporate support. You need these ingredients all together at once, or you won't be successful. So I would rather not expand if we don't have the right ingredients than expand to the wrong place and fail, because that's really painful. And hopefully we can avoid those mistakes and find those ingredients in great communities across the country that allow us to expand the footprint and bring more people into the family.
The rain still continues to fall in South Calgary in Spruce Meadows at Field. We are back though and ready for half number 2 in a 0-0 game between York United FC and Cavalry FC. Chances at both ends, a relatively evenly played first half. And now we'll see if we can decide a winner between these two sides who are playing for the 4th and final time in this regular season. York United FC certainly need the points. They are fighting a very tough uphill battle to make it into the top 4. Cavalry on a bit of a difficult stretch with 4 losses in its last 7 games. Hopes to jump into 2nd place, at least temporarily, if they can secure 3 points here this afternoon. So far, the lightning has held off after that long 2-hour delay. The rain, though, continues to drop. No changes being made for either manager, Tommy Wheeldon Jr. and Martin Nash, so we will play on for the next 45 minutes. Head-to-head, this is the 13th all-time meeting between these two sides, dominated by the Cavs, winners of 8 of the 12 matches. York United, though, have won 2, including both this year. 2 draws featured as well. One of them came earlier this year at York Lions Stadium. So that would certainly be a successful campaign. This head-to-head, if York United is able to win 3 of 4 from one of the top sides in the Canadian Premier League, both this year and historically. Here's Babuli, who had the only shot on target for the 9 Stripes. 9 Stripes, by the way, representing the 9 boroughs in York Region. Rebrand a few years ago, going from York 9 to York United, but they did keep the 9 Stripes around. Pratt plays to Santos. Tries to go forward to that. It's on the far side, back to Kratz. That's good success. Right side of that pitch. Decided to go backwards though to Zator. The Aussie, Laurie Latenzino. Wilson, Verhoeven. De Rosario trying to catch Ronan Krat on a run. Doesn't work out. De Rosario once again taken down. Time by Charlie Trafford. He has seen a lot of the grass today at Atco Field. Certainly the Cavs have a plan for Osaze, and it's to make life as difficult and uncomfortable as possible. For the man who's right in the conversation for the Golden Boot this year with the now departed Alejandro Diaz from Pacific, still leads the race on paper as Mikatave sends it in. Zator with a difficult touch on defense. Managed to get the job done at Arcon. The touch from Cantave back to the Spaniard at Arcon, far post, nobody there. And skips away on the wet surface, too far for Escalante. Diaz leads with 13 goals. Wubens Pacias, Inch Forge FC, playing as we speak in Ottawa. Very talented striker, he has 10. Moses Dyer and Osaze de Rosario each have 9 league goals this year. And then Samuel Salter has 8. He scored on a penalty against Atletico Ottawa at the death. To tie it up, only to see Ivan Perez score the winner 40 seconds later in stoppage time. It was a dramatic finish. All of that to highlight the Golden Boot race this year, which Osaze is certainly very much part of. Chance for Mason here as this ball comes backwards on the 9 Stripes. Sent into the penalty area. Musi just outside. Santos goes backwards, and a whistle from the referee goes York United's way as Miki Cantave actually happy, and that's pretty clear from Mr. Villanueva saying, well, you pulled on his jersey. We get the benefit of replay. And he did. So the right decision was made there, no question. Charlie Trafford plays ahead. Musi with some speed. Ball played towards inside. Krasnovic does well to cut that off. Here's Babuli. Good tackle, well timed from Roberto Alarcon, the 24-year-old from Palma de Mallorca. Beautiful Balearic Islands in Spain. Home as well to tennis great Rafael Nadal, Mallorca. Here's Fleets, centers in, one touch from Mason, still controls. He was unable to set up a teammate for a blast that would have been right on target. Here's Babuli, past Elliot Simmons. Norman takes it off the chest, and once again the Nine Stripes go back into the defensive formation. Cantave, that's a nice spin pass. Returned Musi. Sniffed out though by Tas Mordakudas in his 9th match this season for York United. Played in Sydney, Australian Professional League, before coming to North America. Relatively young as well, just 23 years old, born in 1999. '52nd minute now, still waiting for the first goal between these two. Mason with that touch of hand, it certainly looked like it. Everybody wanting to have a word with Mr. Villanueva. Looked like a handball. Looks like that was the decision made. Nori Latanzio right to the waiting arms of Tommy Wheeldon Jr., who gives it back to the Aussie. Once again, let's have another look. Clearly off the hand, no doubt about that. Done from our camera crew. It's been a long, wet day for the folks on site. Around heavy equipment like cameras when there's lightning in a facility is certainly not ideal. They've done a great job. Folks controlling in the control room as well. We often think about the players and how do they react coming out of a long weather delay, but it's a long day for everybody involved in the production and game operations as well. Santos. Charlie Trafford does well to cut that off, and then has some help from Alarcon. Looked like it could have been an opportunity there for Portuguese flair and Kevin Santos. Goes back into the penalty area. Babuli with the back heel. Once again, Cavalry and its back line able to sniff that out. Latanzio, return feed, that's a good one from Babuli. The cross coming in at the last minute was Krasnovic inside. He wanted to let that fly. As the Nine Stripes come close to a fine opportunity, perhaps it's not done. As it ricochets back towards Carducci, who rolls it gently to the right back Alarcon. Normally Cavalry responsible defensively. There was a few tense moments in front of Carducci there. Carducci, by the way, the Golden Glove winner in the inaugural CPL season in 2019. He's kept 26 career CPL clean sheets, has him second, only behind Tristan Henry. This is a cross into the penalty area. Musi goes up and goes down. Here's Escalante! Escalante has opened the scoring for Cavalry. And shows a lot of love to the supporters who have waited so long on this rainy afternoon to cheer. Finally, the Cavs draw first blood. 1-0. And a much-needed goal for Tommy Wilden Jr. and Cavalry. Here's Cantave with the initial cross over the head of Musi, but nobody picks up Jose Escalante, who's left alone to let that go, and it finds its way past Jimenez and a couple of defenders as well, including Moracudas. This angle should give us a great look at how this seeing eye shot managed to find its way to the twine. 1-0. Escalante was his third of the season, his 8th career CPL goal. From Tegucigalpa, the Honduran capital. Played 17 matches for the youth and development teams there. His 4th year with the Cavs, and he continues to do good work. Second half goal from Escalante has the home side up 1-0. So pressure is on the Nine Stripes now to open up and take some more risks. 3 points for the Cavs would, not officially, but pretty close, end the chance of any last-minute playoff comeback. Put York United 14 points behind Cavalry. Cavalry, of course, that would hop up to second position, at least temporarily, meaning Pacific Forge would have 35. Again, not helping York United, who need points and need other top teams to drop games. That's how that's going to work for the Nine Stripes if they can come anywhere close. Doubleheader today, doubleheader tomorrow, as Joe Mason might have a step. Zator backs up on his former teammate, does well. Escalante again. His cross goes for a one corner off of a Nine Stripes defender. This will be right in front of the Foot Soldiers, who are never shy with a word or two of encouragement or perhaps a flinging insult towards an opposing player. Doubleheader tomorrow. Fowler and Pacific from Winnipeg, Halifax and FC Edmonton from Clark Field in the Albertan capital. Escalante swings this in, and Jimenez off of the hands, but quickly picked up. Young goalkeeper has to be perfect for York United to have a chance. Try and at least draw even. Rory Lattanzino, good ball ahead. Santos to the middle of the park. Babuli lets it go, and it's a rock of a shot off of the right boot, but well high of the crossbar. Good opportunity for the Nine Stripes there. Babuli shot from distance. Quite have the precision required to concern Carducci. Cavalry 7-0-3 this year, playing at Atco Field. 7 wins, 3 losses as another yellow card comes out. Looks like this is on Simmons. It's the 3rd of the day. Going towards the Cavs, as I mentioned, who lead the league in yellow cards and warnings. Relatively hard challenge again on Insa. No stranger to any of the tackles in the middle of the pitch, but that time on the receiving end. And that's also going to be a 1-match ban for Elliot Simmons. His 4th yellow card will have him sit out the next match. So Tommy Wilden Jr. will have to get creative. As already David Norman Jr. and Elliot Simmons will both be absent. Here's Insa. Cross into the middle, defended well by Trafford, knocked on, and Verhoeven thought he got a boot to that, not a hand. Renzo Villanueva thought otherwise. Carducci, of course, in no hurry as we've just passed the hour mark. 61st minute. As I mentioned, Cavalry 7-0-3 this year at home. They play 4 of the remaining 7 matches at Atco Field, so they are a good squad in front of their home fans. Different story on the road, though, this year. Just 3 wins in 11 games played. Dropping 1 against 9 Stripes before winning the other. 2022 CPL campaign. So it could become interesting with regards to the top 4 in the playoff matches. Cavalry is ultimately able to secure its spot. No reason to think why they can't right now. A fairly comfortable cushion between 4th and 5th. But do they play on the road or do they play at home? I know which one Tommy Wilden Jr. would prefer. The hard tackle there as the Aussie Laurie Latenzio and Michael Cantave meets shoulder on shoulder. Here comes the yellow card. Cantave almost went looking for it, lowering his shoulder, but Laurie Latenzio on the defensive end did not shy away. I'd say that's a 50-50 call. Does go into the book for Luis Laurie Latenzio, his 3rd yellow card of the season. First to New York United today. As the cards have started to pour in. Tave, Norman, and Simmons all have yellows for the Cavs. So that could have been extra dangerous for Cantave there, lowering his shoulder. Last thing that he would want to do is put his team down to 10 men and open the door up for York United with a half hour or so to go. This time it's Trafford. Ill-timed challenge from the back. Charlie has 7 yellow cards this year, so 1 more and he would be looking at a 2-match ban for his 8th. Again, these troubles could become a concern if the yellows keep adding up. But right now, Cavalry 1, York United 0. Second half. Ali Musi with some space. This could be interesting. Musi, the left boot off the bottom of the bar, and somehow it stays out. Cantave, the follow-up to Mason. Mason lost control. What a blast that was from Ali Musi. from 35 or 40 yards out, that close to being a goal of the year candidate. De Rosario, as the crowd buzzes, he'll try his luck. That's off a defender. Carducci's pleased about that, but how about this opportunity for Musi? Look where he is. Just a rocket off the bottom of the bar, inches away from being just a terrific goal. High quality strike from Ali Musi. Would have been his 6th of the season. The Somalian international. Former member of the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy as well. Something special. Here's Jordan Wilson. That seems to have ignited the foot soldiers. The cheers and chants have intensified behind Elia Jimenez, who is probably still trying to comprehend, to understand what just happened. Alarcon right now is slow to get up. It's him and Santos got together for a battle. Drink. Nash doing some consulting with his staff. So neither side has made a change yet in now the 67th minute. Can expect something to change in that department. Who blinks first? These two coaches who know each other so well, former colleagues even. Here's Cantave, whose cross set up that strike from Jose Escalante for the first and only goal of this match. Cantave credited with the assist. Should add as well, that's his first ever Canadian Premier League assist to go along with the goal that he scored. Ronan Kratz wins that tackle but gives the ball immediately back. And Alarcon, Musi, third member of the group, but York United do well, and here's a chance on a counter-attack. Ronan Kratz struggled with control. Krasnovic Insa crosses into the middle, it's dangerous. Kevin Santos there for a challenge, goes to the grass. Couldn't get a boot on it. Luis Lori Latenzio stood up, played into the middle, and knocked on by Krat, and then a foul whistled against Osaze de Rosario as York United trying to make some noise. It seemed like some of those passes were just hanging on by a thread. Not much there for de Rosario against David Norman Jr. Change is being prepared for York United. And Sebastian Gutierrez makes his way over to the fourth official, usually Rudolph, as there's a hard tackle on Ali Musi, and that's going to go for a Cavalry free kick, if not more. It's Musi hit in the lower back area from past Bordacutas. Doesn't look like a card is coming out on this, but it was a heavy challenge. Kudus just sort of backed into him. Set piece opportunity coming up. So Tass will have to do some defending. 6'2" man on the Nine Stripes back line. Santos and Babuli form the wall. Alarcon puts it into the penalty area, headed on, and just missed. Charlie Trafford looking for his first ever CPL goal. Put a decent head to it. Decent look. Mraz was there as well. More changes being prepared. This time on the Cavalry sideline. There's Tathmore Kudus to Babuli. One touch on the pass, but nobody there. Mikael Cantave. Good touch, good speed. Cantave can't believe that a foul is called against him. A few words. Triple substitution. Jean-Yal Assi, Elijah Adekube, Ben Fisk, all preparing to come into the game. There's the Colombian Sebastian Gutierrez taking out Ronald Kratz. So 71st minute substitution, Kratz afternoon is done. And Gutierrez, who missed 8 matches earlier this season, only has played 7 minutes total since he came back on August the 6th. He's been used sparingly as he tries to find his form again. He scored a couple of CPL goals. And York United, well, we all know they need one. Approaching the late stages in this one. These teams playing their 22nd game as the wind howls. That barrier didn't stand a chance, so went crashing down. Here's Babuli's cross in the penalty area. That's defended very well, but cleared relatively poorly. Second chance. Santos into the penalty area. Gutierrez first touch. Who wants it? Verhoeven. Osaze de Rosario taken down. No, 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 says the referee. And no complaints from Osaze, who went down in the penalty area. Charlie Trafford needing some help. No protests from De Rosario, who had someone right on him. Another rather chaotic sequence here from the Nine Stripes. Here's Osaze as he was cut off there by Charlie Trafford. Trafford goes down. And now we will have the triple substitution in the 73rd minute. Fisk, Assi, and Adekube all coming in. Afternoon is finished for Mikael Cantave, who recorded an assist on the only goal of the match. Elliot Simmons also heading for the exits, number 15. So Elijah Adekube comes onto the pitch for the 16th time this year. Has missed the last 4 matches, so nice to see Elijah come back in. Looks like Ali Bousi, his day is done as well. The talented 26-year-old had that rocket of a shot that went off the bottom of the bar, and almost unlucky that it didn't go over the line. That kind of power, the angle that it hit at. Very surprising that it went down and out instead of down and in. So the triple substitution, how will that affect this game? And Will Gutierrez for York United be able to leave a mark? Playing in an attacking role along with Babuli and Santos and Osaze de Rosario. More changes being prepared from Martin Nash to answer that triple substitution, it looks like. So we waited 66 plus minutes to have a change, and now we will see two more. A double substitution from Martin Nash as Noah Verhoeven will come out for the Argentinian Lisandro Cabrera. 17th appearance for Cabrera this year. And also nice to see Michael Petrasso come in for just the 7th time this year for the Nine Stripes. The 27-year-old, unfortunately, has missed 15 total CPL matches this year, including 12 in a row between April and July. And they missed 3 more early August. So it's been a difficult year for Petrasso. Woodbridge, Ontario native, just north of Toronto. And these two teams will have a conversation about what just happened there. As we're announcing the substitutions, why don't we take another look? And that's the leg of Babuli that gets bent into a very awkward shape. This Cavalry team, they take no prisoners. And they're disciplined for it with the yellow cards that they've been shown. But it's not changed their style of play at all. With a quarter of an hour to go, here's Petrasso, first touch just outside the penalty area. Gutierrez and Wilson not on the same page. Babuli will have to backtrack as well to move around Fisk. Fisk stays on him, takes him down, and a free kick opportunity coming up as once again Babuli will get a few more grass stains on that Nine Stripes jersey. This time the substitute Ben Fisk clearly trips him up. I think that Babuli wanted more. 4 total cards shown from Quebecois referee. Of course, as well from Lima, Peru originally. The Peruvian Quebecois. Good clearance from Jimenez, and that started something. Petrasso, along with Lisandro Cabrera right there. Cabrera 17th match for the Nine Stripes. Gutierrez 13th. Just the 7th for Petrasso. As I mentioned, it's been a revolving door of players and personalities this year for Martin Nash, who at one point said he was putting players into his lineup that he'd never met before prior to the game. It's been that difficult of a season. All right, Atencio plays forward. Cabrera.
Mason, switch this. Go.
Can Martin Nash's Nine Stripes find an equalizer? That's the question we will answer over the next 12 or 13 minutes. On a rainy afternoon in Calgary, here's Elijah Adekube. First to the ball, his first touch. 4 matches. Scored a dynamic late winner earlier in the year against Valor. The 92nd minute. Brother to Canadian international Samuel Adekube. As once again, Chris Novak-Insa involved in another awkward challenge with none other than Charlie Trafford, who once again is being worked on. Charlie has won 191 duels this year and second on the team, only behind Ali Moussi. Certainly doesn't lack any courage when going into a duel or a tackle or a challenge. Looks like his body has paid the price for it, though, over the years. Trafford might need a substitute by the way that he's walking off the pitch. Remember, he was involved earlier in that tackle with Saze de Rosario and was slow to get up, so that's the second time in a couple of minutes that he has been limping off. Cavalry reduced to 10 men for the moment, while Charlie Trafford is looked at. Lorda Kudas and the keeper. Yeah, Jimenez. Find a solution. Jimenez starts the 9 stripes, who again need to move forward quickly. They have fresh legs, 3 of them, 3 pairs of them on the pitch. Another substitute looking like it's in the works for Cavalry. Joseph Di Chiara bouncing up and down, trying to get warm on what's a very chilly afternoon, especially for August. Into the penalty area, Norman heads that away. Assi, his first touch of the match, not a good one, gives it right back. Here's Babouli, chips forward. Defended well, though, by the Cavs back line. Normally, Jean-Yves Assi is much more decisive in his touches. That one, a small present. Looks like Charlie Trafford will be heading for the exits with Joseph Di Chiara set to take his place. We'll have that confirmed in a matter of moments, I would suspect. Here's Babouli into the penalty area. Carducci, good take, sure-handed, and he needed to be with a couple of York United players right on top of him. That 6-yard line. Carducci. Bit slow to get up here. As that was the Argentinian Lisandro Cabrera that wanted to have a seat at his dinner table, it looks like. Looks like Carducci's going to be okay here. Nothing too vicious from Cabrera. What a story for Marco Carducci, who got some terrible news at the start of the season. He was diagnosed with cancer. Missed the first 3 matches of the season. He's come back and has played extraordinarily well. Trafford comes off. That's the 4th change made by Tommy Wilden Jr. Bringing on Joseph Di Chiara, who had a couple of years running for the 9 stripes. Jimmy Brennan, the manager at the time. 70th career CPL appearance for Di Chiara, who spent 33 of them with the 9 stripes. Scored 5 times, added an assist as well. First 2 seasons playing in North York before heading west. Trading the city sneakers for the cowboy boots in Calgary. Here's Petrasso. That's a good ball forward. Once again, it's Cabrera who's been involved since his arrival on the pitch. Unable to properly control. Kudus plays it backwards, and Jimenez has to come out and be decisive with that head, and he was. There's Mason Trafford. 36-year-old captain has some speed. Gives it back to Di Chiara. Norman Jr. taken by Babouli off the chest. Ensa. Here's Babouli. Decides to go backwards. Into the penalty area again. The touch, though, from Sebastian Gutierrez. He was looking for his South American teammate, Cabrera. Colombia-Argentinian matchup, just not quite there. Our Gatorade performance of the match goes to Jose Escalante, the only goal in this match. Cavalry 1, York United 0, thanks to Jose Escalante's 3rd of the season. Here's a chance, look out! Far post, just off the mark! It came out of nowhere, and Lisandro Cabrera cannot believe he's missed that glorious opportunity in the 86th minute, just before a Cavalry substitution, as Gareth Smith-Doyle is set to make his CPL debut. This game could easily have been tied, as Escalante is escorted off for Smith-Doyle, who is a late add to the roster, I should say. Product of the University of Calgary, 6'2", signed to the roster just 3 days ago. Here's how the goal happened. Mikael Cantave, some excellent work with that cross over the head of his intended target, but who's there to back it up? Escalante. A spicy finish as the Cavs 3 or 4 minutes away from 3 points and a chance to jump up temporarily, at the very least, into 2nd spot in the CPL table. Atletico and Forge playing as we speak, so that result will have some impact on where Cavalry finds itself at the end of the day. I mentioned, though, that Cabrera has been quite useful and quite involved in the attack, but he has just missed a few times in his finish, and that one there had everybody at Atco Field, including Carducci, watching helplessly as that ball just trickled wide. Yellow card shown for the 4th time today for Cavalry. Another substitution set to check in. Shown to Jean-Yann Assis. I have to admit, I did not see what exactly happened there. It says his first yellow of the season. So he's been relatively well behaved. This one again into the penalty area. Jordan Wilson, 2nd chance, knocked away by Norman Jr. 3rd opportunity, finally headed away with some conviction, and it will be a free kick awarded to Cavalry. It looks like Oliver Minitel is set to make his long-awaited return. Former member of the Cavs as well. Minitel has not seen action since April the 30th due to an injury. So the Brazilian is into the game. Has scored already this year, scored against the Cavs in a 2-0 win. Again, has dealt with a very long injury and first involvement with the club since late April. That's a very long wait. And speaking of Minitel, here he is. An opportunity with Cabrera. Oliver Minitel against his former club. The cross knocked away by a former member of York United. So much crossing going on here between these two clubs as Joseph Di Chiara knocks it away. Goes for a York United corner kick, which could be relatively interesting here. A set piece in the 89th minute. Babouli into the penalty area. Wilson was there, and Wilson was knocked over. And it will be a Carducci goal kick. I think Wilson was hoping for more. That was York's second corner of the game. So we will wait the decision from Yusri Rudolph of how much time will be added. Or coming inside our production truck is 5 minutes. On what's been another long afternoon for these patient fans at Spruce Meadows. Rainy day, a good number of them have stayed to the conclusion of this match, despite the 2-hour lightning delay. Gutierrez, Babouli, Gutierrez, look out! A strike and a save from Carducci. Babouli trying to control the second opportunity. Marco Carducci to the rescue as the Cavs defense tested. York United trying again to bring everybody forward. Jean Yarassi, chance for a counterattack. Gareth Smith-Doyle, his first touch. There's the 5 minutes confirmed by Yusri Rudolph. That's what's left of this match. On a late August chilly afternoon in Calgary. Carducci, robbery at the final moments. That's an excellent save from Marco Carducci. This could easily be 1-1. Said that as well about Cabrera's chance too. Babouli. Here's Petrasso. High cross, back post, too far for Cabrera and Insa. Goes for a deep cavalry throw-in. Carducci. Taking some time, gives us some time to have a look at this wonderful opportunity from Gutierrez. In tight. And Gutierrez will be having nightmares of that. He had the net to shoot at, and only the goalkeeper Carducci in that flashy neon yellow kit was there to stop him. And Carducci won that battle cleanly. This is going to create a situation for Renzo Villanueva, the referee, of how much time will be added on top of the 5 minutes of stoppage time. A point would be valuable to York United. They'd try and keep their ever so slim playoff hopes alive. Talking things over with his former teammate. Only 4 matches played this year. He has scored 9 times in his CPL career. There's the goal scorer, Escalante. Jacket is on and firmly zipped up. We're back to playing, final minutes of this. Nori Latenzio. Jean Yarassi is there. Morakutas, the 2 Aussies meet. 93rd minutes, set forward. Cavalry putting every single effort now into its defense. And back line protecting the keeper. They have flirted with disaster a couple of times late in the second half. Assi delivers the clearance. Wilson. Imaraz to Zator, another former member of Cavalry. Here's an interesting opportunity for Gutierrez. Sebastian Gutierrez. Protected well by Elijah Adekibe. That chance snuffed out. Sado is quick. He's taken down. We play on. Everybody down on that play. Krasnovic Insa. Sebastian Gutierrez. Babuli is there. Wilson trying to join as well. Krasnovic Insa into the penalty area, knocked away. Carducci charging forward against Minitel. Carducci put his hands on that, just in front of Minitel. Alarcon firmly had the jersey of Lisandro Cabrera locked in his grasp. Once again, taking some risks in this game. Expected perhaps another minute or two due to Carducci's stoppage. In added time. Minitel plays it ahead. Norman Jr. Assi. United free kick. John Assi touched that with his hand. So here's Babuli. Is there some late match magic? This one into the penalty area. Morakudas too far away, slams his fist into the grass. Not enough. Escalante's goal in the 55th minute has been decisive. There's a look of concern, no doubt, for Martin Nash. Approaching the 96th minute now. High clearance from Carducci. Zator gives to Joe Mason. And that is the end of this match. Another long weather delay, but this time the Cavs see it out and record their 11th win on this Canadian Premier League campaign. Cavalry FC 1, York United FC 0. And the gap between the playoff teams and York United just gets a little bit farther. Jose Escalante doing damage in the 55th minute, set up by Mikael Cantave. And that secures our full-time results. There is the Honduran Escalante. Congratulations all around to Cavalry, who win for the second time this year. Our moment of the match, presented by Volkswagen. Mikael Cantave into the penalty area, and the strike from the Honduran is an excellent one. Seeing eye blast through the defense and past the keeper. After a long weather delay, Escalante making sure the supporters feel his love. And that is the moment of the match. A little bit more business to get to on the back end of this match. Marco Carducci was excellent, and he is awarded the All-State Save of the Match for this superb effort on Sebastian Gutierrez. Late stages, second half, Babuli the return to the Colombian, but Carducci is there. He has the final word. The All-State Save of the Match. Carducci recording his 11th win of this campaign. Lots of familiarity between these two sides as they meet for the fourth and final time this year. Full-time stats, there's a look. 4 shots on target, 1 goal enough for Cavalry FC to win 1-0 over York United. On behalf of all of us, I'm Matt Cullen. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great Saturday night.